I think we should talk about the Dionte Johnson.
We've waited on that one, and clearly it was evident. I remember I was in the I was talking with a couple people, and I go, man, that's a good throw to Aguilar. Oh, that's another throw to Aguilar. We know that Aguilar is going to be on the field, but then we just saw when Bateman went out, it was Zay, Aguilar, and Tylan Wallace.
Yeah, the Tylan Wallace, when Tylan got a catch. He
deserves his chances.
When Tylan got a catch, that's when I was like, Dionte's not on the field. Like, that was my big, because I was like you said, when Aguilar got his opportunities, you're like, okay, Aguilar, guy goes down. Aguilar, if anything, is the 2 because, Dionte's still, quote unquote, learning the system stuff, maybe getting acclimated. They trust him a little more right now. It's like, okay, but Dionte, it's going to this is his chance to get involved. And then each formation, I'm like, looking at the wide receivers, I'm like, Dionte's not out there. Like, that's not Dionte. And then things just seem to get weirder with each press conference. Coach Harbaugh's asked about it, obviously, today.
I'm going to have to wait. Just to clarify it, there's some moving parts there that we're going to have to figure out and explore and just see where we're at.
Not sure what's happening there.
Well, you hope that first off, everything's okay personally.
Yes.
But one part is, and again, any team would have made the deal how much Baltimore gave up to get Dionte. But Kev, if Bateman, whatever's going to be happening with Bateman, we see if he falls down, Dionte Johnson's a very capable wide receiver, talent-wise. We've seen it. He played against the Ravens. Yes, we know he had some drops over his career. Guy can separate. Guy can be a playmaker. So it's a really interesting dynamic here. That's probably the storyline that Ravens fans are going to want to know, because if not, why did he come to Baltimore if clearly it's not starting to seem like it's a fit for the time being?
Yeah, and he is a good player. And I think when they brought him in, we were talking about his ability as a separator and just it's depth. It's not a player you want to have to rely on over the course of the rest of the year. But if something like this were to happen where Rashad Bateman or Zay Flowers goes down or has to miss time or leave in the middle of a game, it's like, okay, well, now you have someone that talent-wise, I think you trust a little more than Nelson Aguilar, a little more than Tylan Wallace. Not that Tylan doesn't deserve opportunities or Nelson is this like bottom of the barrel wide receiver, because neither of those statements are true. But Dionte is a good talent. But it feels like it's been weird from the start, where it's like, yes, he's getting acclimated to everything, and it always takes some time with new guys coming in the middle of the season when things are established. But Dionte was traded from Pittsburgh mainly because of the contract and the fact that he was a distraction on multiple fronts. He gets traded from Carolina, and Carolina's willing to move off of him for essentially nothing because apparently he was growing unhappy with what was going on there, and they didn't want to deal with that. Now there are whatever it is, if it's from the Ravens side of things and they're not playing him and Deontay's mad about that, or if Dionte has been mad about playing time and has been making it a bigger deal, championship teams can't have distractions. And I'll save everybody the nugget spiel that I did on Kevin and Zach React, because everybody's heard it 80 million times. But championship teams, it's hard to have distractions and win. Like, you have to be able to have a clear goal, one mind, and it feels like between this, Eddie Jackson, Marcus Williams, it just feels like there's been stuff piling on all season. And while, yes, you can move off of a guy like Eddie Jackson because the money's not really a big deal, or Dionte, yes, they can cut him if they want to. Well, with a guy like Marcus, what do you do there? And now there's apparently all this stuff about a potential burner account on social media for Dionte Johnson, which is apparently it's one of my favorite storylines, because people find these accounts. It's an account called Usually Open, username at Usually Ope 68903. Two tweets from yesterday saying, going to use your best players or what, with a shrug emoji, and then quoting a tweet on Dionte Johnson that Sarah Ellison put out saying, one of the best route runners in the league didn't get a snap, with a crying emoji or like laughing emoji. And it's funny because in the comments, it's like, Dionte, why aren't you getting snaps, man? Like, you got to tell us what's going on. Like, oh, it's the whole burner account situation. So it's
no comments, but check out, what is the account's name?
At Usually Ope. So Usually OPE 68903. And there are retweets about Dionte Johnson's routes on here. There was one from November 19th about Dionte Johnson saying best wide receiver on the team, only had 6 routes last game. Another one, Johnson open while playing only 11 snaps, but the Ravens use him as their wide receiver 1. The offense gets better. And this is, again, your classic no profile picture, 0 following, 54 followers account. And people have apparently dubbed this the Dionte Johnson verse. So who knows if it is or not, but
That's the thing.
I think that's a funny
it's hilarious
story.
because some random person's probably running that, and everyone's like, "Oh, this is Dionte Johnson,"
I know.
and they're like, "I have so much power right now."
I love the investigation of the internet sometimes.
Yeah, we
sometimes
just
it
find
can be way
people.
too much. Sometimes it's just fantastic. So fascinating. You deep dive into this and you're like, oh, could it be?
Well, it's like the Browns are in a similar situation
With Watson.
Yeah, they are the Deshaun Watson. Burner account that is just so openly like it just feels like it's Deshaun Watson. Like just only defends Deshaun Watson no matter what.
Well,
It's just gotta give it to him.
Maybe he's just his biggest fan.
Yeah.
Maybe it's him. Maybe it's just somebody out there that's just plotting because it's an opportunity where he knows scheming it up here. Maybe Kevin's running the account,
No.
The whole time.
Maybe it's Kevin.
Knew it, Kevin.
Knew it. That's why we haven't seen him in studio.
Yeah,
because
he running burner account.
Not because he was sick or Banksy was sick. It was
the burner accounts.
It was
Take
the
too
burner
much time
account.
from him.
It was the burner.
Yeah,
account.
I have like 5 phones. You know, I'm
think-
refreshing all of my phones, my 5 phones.
He's got all of the that's what he does at 5 a.m. He gets his burner tweets ready for the next day.
Also, it could be Rocco too.
It's probably Rocco.